This man was released early from prison and went on to take the lives of 2 women. Hello there, stranger. This is part 50 of the England's Whole Lifers series, so viewer discretion is advised. So today I'm going to be telling you about David William Tiley. He was born in 1960, but I don't really have any other information on him, so I'm going to get straight into his crimes. In 1995, around age 35, he was sentenced to 6 years for R. Upon his release from prison, he's obligated to tell the police of his location or where he lives. All offenders are. He repeatedly failed to do so and was recalled to prison for this. 3 times, in fact, he was recalled to prison for not telling the police of his whereabouts. Tiley met 49-year-old mother of 5 Susan Hale at an amusement park in Southampton in 2011. The pair became a couple and Tiley moved in with Susan rather quickly. Susan suffered from a degenerative brain disease called cerebellar ataxia, which causes difficulty walking. And it was when Tiley moved in with Susan that was the 3rd time that he was recalled to prison, as he hadn't informed authorities of his change of address. And that 3rd time he was sentenced to 10 months in prison, but he was released early around January 2012, and that's when the couple became engaged. But then only weeks later, on the 7th of March, the couple had an argument at Susan's home, and Susan supposedly taunted Tiley about his past, and this resulted in Tiley attacking Susan with a hammer. He hit her in the head with it and then tied her arms and legs using dressing gown cords. He then committed a serious SA on Susan before using a sharp on her twice to the head and twice in the chest. He would then watch her pass away. According to the pathologist later, her passing would have been quick but not instant. Tiley covered Susan's body with a duvet and then turned on a fan to keep the room cool. He would also spray deodorant under the door to mask any smells. He would use Susan's phone to text her friends and then just carried on life as if nothing had happened. He continued living in Susan's home with her remains still inside and just carried on daily tasks. Susan, of course, had been in a vulnerable state due to her illness, and so she had a carer to help with such daily activities as bathing, and this carer was 39-year-old Sarah Merritt. Sarah had been due to visit Susan 8 days after her passing, which fell on the 15th of March. Obviously, nobody knew what had happened to Susan, and so Sarah attended her appointment as usual. But when she arrived, Tiley answered the door. Sarah went inside and was then threatened by Tiley, who had a sharp implement. Tiley again would tie Sarah's arms and legs. He then stole her bank card and demanded the PIN, which she gave. He then left her bound and gagged and went out to withdraw £150 from Sarah's bank account. He would come back and smoke 2 cigarettes whilst having a conversation with Sarah, according to him. Sarah, who must have been absolutely terrified, began to cry, and this made Tiley angry. He awed Sarah and then impaled her twice in her neck using the same weapon as he had used on Susan. He left both women's bodies inside the home and fled. Sarah's husband and work colleagues became concerned, and so police were notified, and they would eventually go to Susan's and discover the 2 ladies' bodies. Tiley was found 2 days later on the 17th of March in Swanage, where he'd been sleeping rough. He admitted to taking the lives of both women and was handed a whole life order, with the judge telling him, quote, "The brutality and evil of what you did defies adequate description." Hampshire police said that Tiley had been considered low to medium risk, and that short of, quote, 24-hour surveillance, there was really no guarantee that such a man would not reoffend. If only there were a place where dangerous men could be kept under surveillance 24/7. How many times have we seen it, strangers? We need harsher sentences for Rs and SAs. That is your preventative measure. Lock them away if they violate someone. And as many times on this list, I'm really not sure we've got the full story here. He was 35 years old when he was convicted of R that first time. Do you think that was the first time that he had done something like that? As in many times before, I think there are probably more victims. That is, of course, just my opinion. What do you think, stranger? Let me know in the comments. And of course, rest in peace to the victims in this case, Susan Hale and Sarah Merritt. I hope their families can find some peace in knowing that he will never be free. And as ever, if you've stayed with me up until now, then thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next one.